In Chapter 10, Lesson 2, we're going to learn how to find the monthly payment and the total interest paid. The first three formulas that we have should look familiar from Chapters 8 and 9. Monthly payment equals the amount of mortgage over $1,000 times monthly payment for a $1,000 loan. This is a figure that we will get using one of our charts. Then we can find the amount paid back by taking the monthly payment times the number of payments total, which will be 12 times the number of years. Then we can find the total interest charged by subtracting the amount of the mortgage from the amount paid. Our final formula is one that's a little bit more complicated. However, it should also be familiar. If we have a value that's not found on our chart, such as a rate like 5.25%, we can use this formula to find our monthly payment. We have P, or principal, times R, which is the rate per payment, found by taking your interest rate divided by 12, times 1 plus R to the power of N, and N is the number of payments required to pay off the loan, the number of years times 12. Then we're going to divide by 1 plus R to the power of N and subtract 1. In our first example, Carol and Adam Burke have applied for a $280,000 mortgage loan at an 8% annual interest rate. The loan is for 30 years, and the Burkes will pay it in equal monthly payments that include interest. What is the total amount of interest charged? A couple of our numbers here are important numbers. For example, the $280,000, the 8%, and 30 years. The first thing we need to do is find the monthly payment. If you'll remember, our monthly payment was found by taking the amount of the loan, $280,000, divided by 1,000, and multiplying it by a value we're going to get in a chart. So we need to know the 8% and 30 years, and then we can look up on our formulas and find our interest rate. 8% for 30 years is 7.34. So now we're going to multiply by 7.34, which will give us a payment of $2,055.20. The next step is to find the total amount paid back. That's found by taking our monthly payment, $2,055.20, times the number of payments. Well, we're going to make one payment every month for 30 years, and that's going to give us a total payback amount of $739,872. To find the interest paid, we're going to take the total paid back, $739,872, and subtract the amount of the original loan, which was $280,000. This will give us a difference of $459,872. That means that on a $280,000 loan at 8% for 30 years, your monthly payment will be $2,055.20. Throughout the course of the loan, you will pay back $739,872. And of that amount, $459,872 are interest. In example 2, we still have Carol and Adam Burke. This time they're going to have a $340,000 mortgage loan at a 5% annual interest rate for 30 years. We could do the same steps as we did in example 1 because we need to find the same things: the monthly payment, the amount paid, and the total interest charged. However, I want to show you how to use the more complicated formula to do this. If you'll remember our more complicated formula, we had monthly payment equals P times R times 1 plus R to the power of n all over 1 plus R to the power of n minus 1. So P is our principal or amount of the mortgage, in this case $340,000. R is our interest rate divided by 12. So I'm going to take point 0.05 divided by 12, which will give us an R value of 0.0042. And N is the total number of payments. So if we're going to be making one payment a month, it's 12. Over the course of 30 years, we will make 360 payments. At this point, all we need to do is start filling in our information. Okay, so P times R, 340,000 times 0.0042 times 1 plus 0.0042 to the power of 360 all over 1 plus 0.0042 to the power of 360 minus 1. If I put that in my calculator, I find that my monthly payment is going to equal $1,833.51. Now I can find my amount paid back. I'm going to take my monthly payment times the number of payments, which is 12 times 30, and my amount paid back will be $660,000. Oh goodness. $63. I'm going to make this easier to read here. We're going to go with, try it again, $660,063.60. And then we can find our interest. Our interest is going to equal the amount paid back, $660,000, and $63.60 minus the original amount of the loan, $340,000. So our interest is going to be $320,063.60. Now we've used both the easy formula and the harder formula to find the monthly payment, the total interest, and the total amount paid back.